ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वर्ष नंबर 180। अतः प्राहुर्मनोविद्यां पंडितस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः येनैव भ्राम्यते विश्वं वायुना इव अभ्रमण्डलम्। I repeat one more time. अतः प्राहुर्मनोविद्यां पंडितस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः येनैव भ्राम्यते विश्वं वायुना इव अभ्रमण्डलम्. See the translation. Hence, the mind is considered to be avidya by sages who have discovered its secrets. By this alone, the universe of experience is tossed around like the clouds by the winds. See the one more time translation. Hence, the wise who have had fathom of its secrets have designated the mind alone as avidya or ignorance. The universe is being moved by which alone to and fro like masses of clouds by the winds. In last verse, we have studied Janmadi Dukkhasya Nidanam Etat. Etat means mind is the root cause of all sorrows, all miseries. Only mind is cause, root cause. So, Shankaracharya says, that is why mind is ignorance. Mind is avidya. So this is the statement. Now the question is, if I give a statement that mind is avidya, mind is ignorance, what authority I have? How can I say mind is ignorance? So Shankaracharya says, Panditas Tattva Darshina, the wise person can give such statement. The conclusion has come that mind is playing very significant role in our life. That is the reason the wise man who has understood all secrets of the known and unknown objects Here the word is Tattva Darshana. Very important word, Tattva Darshana. Very meaningful, this is the word Tattva Darshana. The wise person, not only wise person, but he is Tattva Darshana. Means what? So Tat means what? Tat means that. Any object. That means it is different from you. You cannot use the word Tat for yourself. That means that, which is different from you. So whatever knowledge we can use, whatever object we can use the word Tat. We have been trying to know the world and its objects since very beginning from the creation. We are trying to know what objects are. Being a human being, this is our nature to know what is tree, what the stone, what the stars, what is the moon, what the sun, what is the unlimited question. Because this is our nature to know. So very beginning, when universe, the creation has started, immediately we have been trying to know what is the creation. What is the sun, what is the moon, what is the ocean, what is unlimited millions questions. And we have used all means, whatever we have within and without. We have sense organs, always we are using for knowledge, and some means which give support our sense organs. Today, science has developed very developed. We have lots of instruments, lots of devices, very advanced. And we are still trying to know what is object. That means that, so means ness. What is the reality of the object? We are trying. Whatever means we have, but our scientists are working 24/7 to know what objects are. What objects are. But in results, still we are not able to say that we have known everything about objects. Still we are not able to. Because when we know an object little bit, then it seems more deeper. There are so many things. For example, in medical science, we try to know about our body. Very important. You know table or does not know table, it makes no difference. but you must know about your body. So medical science always try to know about our body. But what happened? We are not sure. We cannot say that we know everything about our body. We know something, then we come to know there are much more, much more. Our knowledge is just superficial. We know just surfaces. Surface, what does? They covers the reality. So we know only surfaces. But here the word is used, Tattvadarshina. In Gita, Lord Sri Krishna said, Shuni chaiva sopakecha pandita samadarshina. The wise person does not see the dog, the Brahman, the cow. The wise person only sees what is hidden inside. We can see only dog. We can see only cow, a Brahmin, a sannyasi. But a wise person, a Tattvadarshi, Tattvadarshi does not see the dog, the cow, the Brahman, the sannyasi. The wise Tattvadarshi person sees the reality which is hidden everywhere and same way. The reality is not different. Brahman is different from the Suddha. Cow is different from the dog. But the reality which is hidden in both, reality is the same. So the reality is the tattva. Reality is a reality, a real. Surface is dog. Surface is cow. Surface is Brahman. But reality is the same everywhere. So we are trying to know about objects. Still, we are not able to give a statement that we have known all about any object. We cannot give a statement. We think, we discovered this the atom. Atom may be final. They know there may be neutron, proton. Then now they say energy. Energy is condensed in form of objects. Still not surety. Because whatever method we used, this method will not lead us to reality. Reality is much more deeper, much more deeper. Our rishis knew a divine method. By science, you cannot know the reality of absolute. It may objectively, it may subjectively. Object also ultimately is connected to subject. They are not separate. They are another aspect of the real subject. So this method, we anytime in future we cannot know the reality of the any object. Our rishis had divine power. superficial power. So they used the divine power to know object, to know mind, to know our own nature. So divine power is a mean to know the reality of the objective world and as well as mind also. We can say that our mind is like such and such, such and such. We don't know anything about mind. How can I make a statement about mind? I don't know about a mind. Whatever statement I will give, it will be false. Because I do not know about mind, its nature, its reality. But we can say, all over the world, people are making statements about mind. Mind is like this, mind is like such, mind is like this. All are false. They don't have authority. Our rishis had divine power. So what divine means, they understood the nature of the mind. Then they can say, they can make a statement that what mind is, because they knew all secrets of the mind. So Tattvadarshi means one who know every secret of the mind. The one who know every aspect of the mind. The one who know completely the mind, then he can make a statement about mind. Shankaracharya makes a statement, Manaha ataha mano prahu avidyam. Shankaracharya says, that is why I can say that mind is only avidya, ignorance. Mind. Mind is ignorance. Because he is Rishi. He knows all aspects of the mind. He knows completely of the mind. So he says, mind is avidya. So ata mano prahu mano avidyam panditas tattvadarshina, the wise person like Shankaracharya, like Vyas, like Vasisht, like Shukdev, they can say that mind is ignorance. They were tattvadarshi. Enaiva brahmyate vishwam. And because of this mind, the all universe is working. Because of avidya. If there is a mind, there is a universe. No mind, no universe. So mind is the cause. Ena brahmyate vishwam. All universe is working because of the mind. He gave example like the masses of clouds. The masses of the clouds gathers and scattered by force of winds. So wind does both work. It collects clouds and disappears clouds. Now next one. Tan mana sodhanam karyam prayatanena mumukshunah visuddhe sati chaitasmin mukti kar phalayat. I repeat one more time. Tanmana shodhanam karyam prayatnena mumukshuna visuddhe sati chaitasmin mukti kar phalayat. See the translation. Therefore the mind must be diligently purified by one who seeks liberation. When the mind has been purified, liberation becomes as readily available as a fruit in one's own hand. See the one more time translation. Therefore, the seeker after liberation must diligently purify the mind. When the mind has been made purified, liberation is as easy of access as a fruit on the palm of one's hand. So see the connection between two verses. In first verse he says, mind is ignorance. It is clear. Mind is problem and only mind is solution. We have no other means. We don't have other option. So we have to work with mind. If we want liberation, then give special treatment to mind. Tan mana sodhanam karyam. So you have one means. It called mind. It works two ways. It can lead us to the world, and the same entity, the same mind, can lead us to the Supreme Soul. Up to you how to use it. It up your choice. Up to you. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says at end of the 18th chapter, he says, Arjun, I told you everything. I told you everything, but now you think. Yatha Bimrish. You think what should do or not. Vimersha. But first think, then take decision. You should do or not. Here, Shankaracharya says, Tan mana sodhanam kuriyat prayatnena mumukshuna. A seeker for liberation. A seeker for liberation. Who want liberation. Liberation from the world. Liberation from the misery. Liberation from the limitations. Liberation from the death and birth. Who wants liberation? The first work is mana sodhanam prayatnena. He should do spiritual practice. Prayatna means practice. Practice. So deep, very deep words. Prayatna. Practice. Spiritual practice. When we start the path of spirituality, the Sum Master gives us a path. You follow this path. And these paths are maybe very different because according to disciples' mentality, its label, its choice. So there are so many paths. So many paths. Master can say, you do chanting, chant. You do japa. You do abhishekam. You go pilgrimage. You do havan. He can say anything. You do charity. You support other people. There are many verses, many paths to spirituality. These all paths will lead us for purification of the mind. Manasodhanam kuriyat. How to purify? All paths will lead you purification of the mind. Very important work is for seeker purification of the mind. Your mind should be ready to observe the supreme reality. Man should be capable to observe supreme reality. Tan mana sodhanam karyam prayatnena. Prayatnena. So this will not happen immediately. 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 months, or 2 or 3 years. It may take years and years and years. It may take lives and lives. The seeker should have patience, because your path is very, very, very important. The mumukshata means who has desire for supreme, who has desire for absolute, then you have to dare to stack everything for achieve the liberation. Prayatnena. So spiritual practice always continuously, as Patanjali wrote in the Yoga Sutra, he says, Nirantari, Sadhu Satkar with respect, Nairantarya without interruption, continuously one seeker should follow. Abhyas, practice. We say practice makes perfect a man. In very simple thing, if I want to learn driving a car, I practice. Practice. Slowly becomes a perfect driver. I want to fly a plane. What should do? Practice. No other way, practice. And practice, after practice, it becomes a good pilot. Everything requires practice. So spiritual practice is very necessary. Prayatnena, very patientfully, continuously, with respect. Tan mana sodhanam karyam prayatnena mumukshuna. Who want liberation and visuddhe sati chaitasmin mukti kar phalayat. How do we know our mind becomes purified? What a criteria? Who will tell us your mind is purified? What a criteria? Our mind is purified or not? Then he says, Vishuddhe sati chaitasmin. If your mind is purified, in body, there will not take any change in your body. In objects, all objects will be same. Your body may be same. There is no changes. Mukti kar phalayat. Mukti, the liberation, salvation. Kar phalayat. So don't think when I will die, then I will go to some very different, very luxurious place. It may be heaven, it may be Vaikunt, it may be So many names. No, you don't wait. Liberation will happen immediately. Immediately. You have not to wait for liberation. Death is not condition for liberation. Death is not obstacles for the liberation. Death is nothing. Mukti kar phalayate, Shankaracharya says, if your mind is purified immediately, a single vakya, a single sentence of the Upanishad, a single sentence of the Guru can liberate you. A single, he can say that you are a Brahman. And finished. You are Tattvamasi. We cannot digest the quotation, the sentence, because mind did not accept. Mukti kar phalayate. If your mind is purified, then your liberation is like a fruit on your palm. You know everything about the fruit. You can see, you can touch. So, if mind is purified, the seeker can enjoy the liberation. Still, liberation was just an idea. Still, liberation was just a thought. Very beautiful words. We heard so many times. Liberation, salvation, nirvana. Very beautiful. But we don't have any experience. We don't have any taste. What liberation is? We hear and we tell about liberation. So there are lots of idea about liberation, but no taste, no experience, because mind is the obstacle. Mind is the obstacle. Impure mind is the obstacle. So Shankaracharya says, if mind is pure, the purity becomes of mind by abhyas. Train your mind again and again. Your mind will accept the reality of the Brahman. Visuddhe sati chaitasmin mukti kar phalayate. The experience of the liberation will start happening immediately. Next one. Mokshaik satya vishayeshu ragam niramulya sanyasya cha sarva karma sachhridaya sravanadinishtu rajasvabhavam sadhanoti buddhi. I repeat one more time. Mokshaik satya vishayeshu ragam niramulya sanyasya cha sarva karma sachhridaya sravanadinishtu rajasvabhavam sadhanoti buddhi. The meaning is, with single-pointed devotion for liberation, he who roots out his attachments for sense objects, renounce all actions, and with faith in truth, constantly hears the truth, etc., he can purge the rajasic nature in the intellect. See the translation one more time. He who by means of one-pointed devotion for liberation roots out the attachment for sense objects, renounces all actions, and with faith in the real Brahman regularly practices hearing, etc., succeeds in purging in the rajasic nature of the intellect. Now the question is how a seeker makes practices. Practices. The most important thing is practice. So Shankaracharya says what spiritual practices are. Here we are going to study the spiritual practices. They are very advanced. They are mental level, very advanced level. Very beginning, when we start the spiritual life, there are so many practices. Whatever is suitable for us, Master gives, and we are doing. Slowly, slowly, gradually, he becomes ready. He becomes ready. Our basic practices are very useful for mental practices. No one can enter direct in this level. So very basic practices. Japa, chanting, prayer, charity, meditation. Whatever you do. Don't leave Abhishekam. Whatever you are doing, do idol worship. They will give strength to you. Slowly, slowly, these practices will make platform for your mental practices. Here, Shankaracharya is giving some practices. These practices are very practical. You practice it. They are not just for talking. They are practices. So what one should do? First, seeker has to have real longing for liberation. The condition is the seeker should has a longing for liberation. This is not part-time job. He says, Mokshaika Satya, Asakti. Asakti means what? Asakti means attachment. As we have attachment in the worldly life. Like a greedy person, always think about money. Whatever condition is, but he always thinks about money. He may be in temple, he may be in markets, he may be in Himalaya. It makes no difference to him. He always thinks about money, money, money. All his life is money centered. Always thinks about money. Same, if some person is very angry person, he always think about anger. You don't understand why he is going to be angry, but he can find out reason for his anger. So his all personality is anger centered. Someone's all personality is greed centered. Attachment. Attachment, the seeker, the real attachment is whatever condition may be. He may be in Himalaya, he may be in palace, whatever condition may be, but he always thinks about liberation. He is always attached with the liberation. How to make possible liberation? Like a greedy person always think about money, how to make money. So, same way, the seeker always thinks about how to make possible a liberation. Whatever condition may come and go. Mokshaika Satya. The first condition is the seeker must be attached with liberation. Then Vishayeshu Ragam. Then what happens? If the seeker is extremely attached with liberation, automatically renunciation will happen. Still, we are trying to renounce the world. We are trying to renounce the objects, but will not succeed. We failed because we don't have any option. It is like this. If someone has been carrying some pebbles from years and years, and suddenly he reached a place. There he found diamonds, and he knew what diamond is, what is the value of the diamond. But his hand is full with pebbles. So what he should do? He takes diamonds or pebbles. So this is not choice. Immediately he throw the pebbles and take the diamonds. Because you know the value of diamonds. If a seeker knows the value of the liberation, immediately the worldly objects, attachment of the worldly objects will automatically. You don't have to do anything. All objects will be uprooted, Sankaracharya says. Vishaya Suragam Nirmulya. Then what happened? Sanyasya cha sarva karma. And next step is he renounced all activity. Now we will ask, how is it possible? How one can renounce all activity? Yes, no one can renounce all activities, all actions. It is not possible. So what does it mean? Sarva karma, sanyasya, renunciation of the all activity. It means he does everything. He does not have choice, like and dislike. He likes everything. Whatever comes, he does. Whatever comes, he acts. Without interest, without attachment, joyfully, for enjoyment. As you practice for worldly activity, he practices for happiness. Like we practice for swimming. It will take times. We went for swimming. We go for swimming 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and becomes masters. The spiritual seeker started practicing happiness. Always be happy. Whatever condition is, your happiness is not conditioned. It is not bound with any condition. So practice happiness. Whatever condition is not bound. Condition cannot stop your happiness. So practice happiness always. Enjoy. If you are in palace, enjoy the palace. If you are in hut, enjoy the hut. If you are hungry, enjoy the hunger. If you are eating food, enjoy the food. No attachments. Enjoy everything. Enjoy happiness. So practicing of happiness. The spiritual practices, practicing of happiness. Every condition can make you happiness. Karma sanyasya. So you do everything, but no interest. Just a play. Just a play. Enjoy everything. Sat Shraddhaya. And next thing is have a faith in Sat, absolute reality. See the word. Sat Shraddhaya. Faith in absolute reality. You don't have any experience about absolute reality. Whatever we have experienced, these experiences were only relative, no absolute. But scriptures are saying, masters are saying about supreme reality. So have faith. There is Atman, there is a Brahman, and so these all are the spiritual practices every seeker must have to do. And finally, Sarvanadi Nishto Rajasvabhava Sad Idhanoti. So after this practice, the seeker must listen from the Guru, Sravanam. These are the practice you do. But they are preparation. There is no seed. Just you are preparing a soil, water, but there is no seed. So master will put a seed. That Thomas, you are the supreme. You are the Brahman. You are the consciousness. Master will tell you. Sravanadi, Adi means etc. Then first listen from the master, from the scriptures about the supreme reality. And after reflection, reasoning, apply your logic. How is it possible? Am I Brahman? Am I soul? Am I consciousness? Apply your own logics and contemplation. Finally, when you found the answer, when you will find the answer, I am the consciousness, then contemplate. Always contemplate. I am the consciousness. I am the Brahman. I am not body. I am not mind. I am not soul. I am the supreme. So this way, Sravanadi Nishto Rajas Svabhavam Sadhanu Tunuti. So this way, some seeker practicing this, and the Rajoguna and Tamoguna will disappear. The projection power and veiling power both are disappears. His mind becomes purified. So this is the whole process. Making purification of the mind, and what are the results. So this is the Manomaya question. Now next one. Manomayo napi bhavet paratma yadyantavattvat parinami bhavat dukhatmakatvat vishayatva hetuh drishta hi drishyatmataya na drishta. I chant one more time. Manomayo napi bhavet paratma yadyantavattvat parinami bhavat dukhatmakatvat vishayatva hetuh drishta hi drishyatmataya na drishta. See the translation. The mental seed cannot be the supreme self either, for it has a beginning and an end. It is a subject to modifications, pain and suffering, characterize it, and it is an object of cognition. The subject can never be identified with the object of knowledge. See the translation, another. Neither can the mental seat be supreme self, because it has a beginning and an ending. It's subject to modifications, it's characterized by pain and suffering, and is an object, whereas the subject can never be identified with the object of knowledge. Now time has come to take decision. Is Manomaya Kosha is the soul or not? First, gradually you have negated the gross body. Then Pranamaya. Now, third step is Manomaya. This is subtler. It's deeper. Its roots are very deep. But you have to negate it. How? Shankaracharya has given here some logics. You can apply. First logic is, he says, the Manomaya seat cannot be supreme soul. This is the judgment. This is the decision. The Manomaya Kosha, Manomaya means mind plus sense organs. So Manomaya Kosha is not self. This is the judgment. How? So here are some logics. He says, Adyantavatva. The first logic is, mind is with beginning and with ending. Mind is with beginning, with ending. When we are in deep sleep, or a yogi in samadhi, there is no mind. That time you are mindless. The yogi is mindless. And when you are in dream state or a waking state, mind begins. Mind begins. So mind has ending and mind has beginning. That is why mind cannot be the supreme soul, because supreme soul has without ending and without beginning. Another logic, he says, parinamitva, the modification. Mind has so many thoughts process. Sometimes mind is good, sometimes mind is not good, sometimes thoughts are bad, sometimes thoughts are not bad. So mind has modifications, but Supreme Soul has no modifications. Then Dukkhatmakatva, the all miseries, all sorrows are rooted in the mind. Mind is the cause. All sorrow and miseries. But your own nature is source of the happiness. Very opposite character. So mind cannot be this. Another logic. Dukkhatmakatvat, Vishayatvat, and mind is an object. You can see this is my mind. My mind is not working properly. My mind is restlessness. My mind is agitated. So you can see your mind. You can observe your mind. So you are the different, your mind is different. Mind is an object. So object cannot be subject, and subject cannot be objectified. So you are the very different from the mind, mind the very different from the you. Thus, the conclusion has come: the Manomaya Kosha is not supreme self. So this is the third one we have negated. Today we have to take stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.